I like the first movie called Greenland, and so I decided to buy Greenland 2, the migration on digital, because I've been backing down on buying, uh, physicals and versus digital. Because I want to make sure that if I buy physicals from now on, I want to make sure that I'm going to watch it over again. So uh, I didn't buy this one. I bought a physical. Still supported the movie industry, but Greenland 2 Migration is a post-apocalyptic sequel to Greenland, following uh, the Garrity family as they leave their bunker, Greenland, to search for a new home across a devastated Europe after a comet strike. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I did not know what to think. Was going to go to the theater to go see this, but I didn't. After I watched this, I was shocked because when I watched the first one, I really loved the first one. And I was surprised how good the first one was. I was like, man, I didn't think this was, I was shocked. Because I remember when I watched Greenland and I seen the trailer and I was like, boy, that looks pretty good. But then I was just like, didn't go see it because I was just thinking it should be some of the, sometimes I should just go on my gut instinct. And I didn't. And I finally got around to watching. As you look at my playlist, I finally got around to watching. That's what this is going to fall under. And so I was, after watching Greenland, I really liked it, so I bought it. I don't know if I bought a physical or I bought a digital, but I think I bought digital. But I could have swore I had a physical copy around here somewhere, but I had to look. And I really love that first one. And so I'm thinking, man, they ain't gonna be able to, I said, they ain't gonna be able to, I said, man, they ain't gonna be able to, be as good as the first one, man. You know what I'm saying? But shoot, man, come on. This thing was pretty good. I was surprised. I watched this movie from start to finish. And when I do that, I usually just, once I get hooked into something, I love when I can watch something I can get drawn in. And when I get drawn in, I'm like, man, this is like, dang, man, because I was like, man, how are they gonna, how are they gonna, I was all these questions in my head, but they wrapped a good story around this, man. This is sitting at a lot of people apparently it's sitting at 50% Rotten Tomatoes, so that's not very good. But for me, I have a knack of liking a lot of movies that a lot of people don't like. So there's a lot of us out there that's like that. But now they're going across country and they got to go to Europe because there's this woman saying there's this like oasis where everything's like somehow this comet made it to where there's this crater that looks like everything can grow. They got great atmosphere because the air is still polluted. It's been 5 years since they've been down in the bunker, and I was trying to figure out how they was going to wrap this story around that. But I like the story about how they was going outside trying to, they wanted to get out of that bunker, man, but, there's still radiation levels. And from all the blasts from that comet, the rocks from that comet got into the Earth's atmosphere, so it was still circling around the Earth's atmosphere, coming in and throwing fragments of the comet that was 5 years old at first. But man, I was surprised. Man, this movie ain't no joke though, man, because man, it definitely did a good job of giving you the realism of how people are trying to survive and how, when you're in a situation like that, there's no telling how you would think and what you would do and stuff. And then there was parts in this movie where, you found people that survived from the, I'm like, I said to myself, where did they go? How did they survive? How did these people survive? Because everybody wasn't able to go into a bunker like the cast, the main, people that was in this movie, which is Gerard Butler and, Marana Bakarin, which plays his wife. So, and his son but they did a good job, man. I was surprised. Like I said, a lot of people might not like this movie. But I was sitting there saying to myself, okay, if it's 5 years since you guys been down in here, and now the plates are starting to shift. So they're in this bunker and the plates are shifting because the Earth more. Usually, when something happens to the Earth, see if I can explain this right. Usually, when something happens to the Earth has a knack of doing a lot of different things to get itself back in order. It might destroy a lot of stuff in the process, but the Earth has a knack of reshaping itself. Like, for instance, if you did something to the Earth and the Earth would sit still for like, I don't know, 10 years, it would more or less reclean it. It kind of would clean itself in a way, because ain't nobody doing anything to it. Life finds a way. To me, it would. And so when after 5 years, the tectonic plates up under was shifting. So it was starting to affect this bunker. And the concrete and all that under was starting to crack. And their water was running out because they was trying to find tools to fix their water. So I'm like, okay, you built that bunker and you put all that, because when you build a bunker that deep down in the ground, how much food do you have down there? So, and and electricity and stuff like that. There's all this stuff that's going in my mind. I mean, I know they got them. We have bunkers, but I'm just like, and some of these bunkers are like way, way down in Europe. But I'm just like, how long can you stay down there? And they did a good job of showing how they lived down there and how they was dealing with it, and they couldn't go outside. And then some people would go outside and they couldn't go outside that long because they had radiation. The radiation was getting in their skin and stuff. So Gerard Butler's character, he was going out trying to find stuff to help fix stuff in the bunker because, then they was they was trying to figure out if there's anywhere in the world that they could go so they can get out of this bunker. So that's what this whole movie set up on. But this movie didn't hold nothing back, man. I mean, there was some violence, man. There was some kills in here, like kills that came out of nowhere. I mean, what I think what I like about movies like this, though, I have to be in the mood for movies like this. Like, I was wanting to watch this movie, so I was in the mood, but it's so dark. What I mean by dark, not dark as in dark, it's just dark because it gives you an idea how people are when they're trying to survive. I mean, and how was they eating and where was they I don't know, man. That's kind of weird, man, because I was like, that would be rough. Everybody's starting to turn on each other and shooting each other and, breaking off into groups and you have these little wars over here and wars over there. And then, I don't know, man, this was pretty good. And so they have to go to Europe because there's this place in Europe they think is safe. And it was, but man, they went through some crap to get to where they was at. And so, anyway, you guys, that's just a quick off, I just watched it. I just got around to watching it. I finally got around to watching this. I didn't go to theater, but I liked it. I really did. I was enjoying it, man. So, did you guys see Greenland 2 Migration? I was pleasantly surprised because I didn't think they could top that first one, but this one was really good. I could watch this over again. It makes you think. Because I was sitting there watching that movie going to myself, like, hey, you just don't even know if you're going to live, you don't know where you're next. You got to ration out these food and you're stuck on all these people. You can't go outside, man. I was like, sometimes you don't realize how much you got it made until you start watching stuff like this. Because, if you had to live under those conditions, it would suck. Because then you appreciate all the stuff that we take so much for granted, like just going outside, looking at the sun, breath of fresh air, birds flying around, going to the store, getting some gas. You ain't got to worry about being shot because somebody wants to take your car. I had all that in here, man. This was some crazy stuff, man. But anyway, I enjoyed it, man. So anyway, that's my take on migration, Greenland 2 Migration. We'll catch you next video. We'll see you.